Hello and welcome to a new video here in St. Petersburg. Those of you who are following me since a while now know I love history, and today we are going to explore one of the most iconic transport systems of the Soviet era. We are going to start underground here in St. Petersburg. Afterwards we will take an overnight train that is original from the Soviet era all the way to Moscow, where we will then explore what is meant to be the most beautiful metro system on Earth. Let's now get underground together. We are starting here in Avto metro station, and the entrance hall is already quite promising. I can't wait to see more of it. We just got these cards here because the whole metro system in St. Petersburg doesn't use cash anymore. So you have to get one of these cards for 90 rubles, and then you can charge this card with money. We charged it with a day ticket that has cost us 311 rubles, which is quite affordable. And then we can take as many metros and buses as we want. Avto metro station is also often called one of the most beautiful metro stations in the world. It has opened up in 1955 and it is dedicated to celebrating the siege of Leningrad. If you are now confused with Leningrad, it's actually St. Petersburg. It's the same name. If you don't understand exactly the history behind it, make sure to check out this video because I explained a little bit more about the name of the city of St. Petersburg there that has changed a lot over time. Here you can see military motifs everywhere, red stars, swords, imagery, and even a mosaic with the inscription "Peace of the World, our cause is right." It is celebrating the victory from 1941 to 1945. The amount of people here at the station is insane, but it's also rush hour, so I mean, you can't expect anything else. This is completely normal. But look at all these columns and the details here on the platform. This is so beautiful. Just look at these columns. Some are white and only a marble, and others have these beautiful details made of crystal. This whole metro station has been designed as a palace for the people, and you notice this looks incredible. It is a neoclassical design, and even the building from the outside is monumental. It looks more like a government building than a metro station. Next up is Kirovsky Zavod station, and this station has been named after the Kirov factory that is nearby. It is dedicated to the four big industries of the Soviet era, which is electrical, petroleum, coal mining, and metallurgy. Just look at these columns that are also covered in marble. It's beautiful, and the lighting, very nice. The metro system of St. Petersburg is one of the deepest metro systems on Earth. The average depth of its stations is around 31 meters, and the deepest station has 86 meters of depth. Taking one of these escalators is an adventure itself, and it actually takes almost 2 minutes to get down this specific escalator here. The depth of the metro stations is related to the tricky geology of the city. They had to dig deep because of water systems under the city, as well as underground erosions. Navskaya station is another beauty of a station. It is dedicated to the workers. Here you can see columns of marble with statues that depict a different profession. The motto of the station is clearly "Glory to Work." And there's a little fun fact that I've read online, and that says that behind this wall at the end of the station, there used to be a mosaic of Stalin. Apparently, in 1961, this mosaic has been covered up by this wall of false marble, because at that time it was forbidden to have any pictures or images of Stalin anymore. So they covered it up here as well. We are at the station Admiraltiyskaya, and this station is also known as the ghost station, and it is the deepest station here in St. Petersburg with almost 90 meters of depth. This station has been dedicated to the fleet of Peter the Great. And you can see images such as like this one here behind me, mosaics that are dedicated to his fleet. It took in total 14 years to complete this station. And we are now going to get up the station and check out how long it actually takes to take this escalator here. 4 minutes. 4 minutes and we arrived on the top. There is a system of 2 escalators. The first one took us 50 seconds and the second one more than 3 minutes to get up. So yes, you should definitely plan some extra time if you want to take one of those metros here, just for the way all the way down. There are probably so many more stations here in St. Petersburg that we could explore, but for us it is now time to move forward. We are heading to Moscow now. And to do so, we are going to take an overnight train, which is one of the most iconic trains of the Soviet era. It is the epic Red Arrow train, and I am very excited to take that one, to get on that experience, and especially to explore Moscow next. This is it. This is the iconic Red Arrow train. You cannot miss it due to its bright red color. This is a very historical train. It first ran in 1931, and ever since that it has almost ran non-stop, besides of those difficult years during the Leningrad blockade. The train got its bright red color in the early 60s, and it became an iconic train that is running in between St. Petersburg and Moscow. We paid 6,600 rubles per person in the basic carriage. This includes the train ride, a breakfast, some drinks, and I think a little snack box as well. And it is quite expensive for a train ride. And this ride will take 8 hours in total. It's an overnight train. There are trains that are going from St. Petersburg to Moscow that are way faster than that, but it is about the experience here, obviously. This used to be a luxury train, and there were famous VIPs such as Yuri Gagarin, a Russian cosmonaut who took this train frequently. We are in car number 5 and we have 2 upper beds. We chose a cabin with 4 people. It's the lowest price you can get. There are way more expensive cars as well, but we chose the budget version. So there will be 2 more people in our room, and we have the 2 upper beds. There are 2 lower beds as well. Let's check out our beds. The cabins are quite small. As you can see, there are 2 upper beds. These banks here, you can transform them into beds as well. And down there, I think there is some space to put the luggage in. We have some hangers here to also leave our stuff. And there is a little welcome box here as well. I think this is where we can find our snacks. There's also a breakfast included in the train ride. We will get it 1 hour before we arrive in Moscow, more or less. We will now get bed ready, I guess, and then let's see how well we sleep here in this very beautiful train. There's also a restaurant here, so if you are still hungry, once you arrive, you can also eat here. We are super early. They just open up the doors and we will leave in 40 minutes more or less, so it's not yet ready, but you can see how beautiful it is with the decorations and so on. It's like super old and stylish. And we can also see here it says 90 years of the Red Arrow. So they are celebrating 90 years of operating this train already. Thank you. We arrived in Moscow exactly on time. The train is super punctual and it was such a cool experience. This train is definitely not about arriving fast in Moscow. Again, there are trains that are way faster, but it is about the experience. And it is super fun. It is a classical, historical experience, and I loved it. I slept very well. The beds are super comfortable. You have blankets and pillows and everything you need to have a good night's sleep. We had some breakfast in the morning. We had some blinis, which were also delicious. They came with chicken. I didn't want to film there though, because again, we were with 2 other people. The cabins are not that big and I just didn't want to bother them. But the breakfast was good, and there are even cabins that are way more luxurious than the one we had. The most expensive cabins even have a private shower in there. So just so you can imagine how luxurious this experience can actually get. For us, it is now time to get to the hotel. We will drop off our bags and then we will finally explore the underground of Moscow. And trust me, this is going to be super cool and just as beautiful, or at least as beautiful, as the metro in St. Petersburg. Now ready to explore the Moscow underground system? Welcome to the palace for the people. This is what they called the Moscow metro system when it was first built and conceived in the 1930s. It has been built during the time of Stalin. And it wasn't just a functional transport, it was a political statement. It was meant to declare the power of the Soviet Union. The architects imagined a palace for the people, and they really spared no expense. They decorated the stations with expensive materials such as granite, marble, and bronze. And the stations are filled with sculptures and mosaics, pictures, images. It feels more like an art museum than a metro station, really. Let's check out the first one, which is meant to be one of the most beautiful stations here in Moscow. This here is Komsomolskaya Station. It is dedicated to Komsomol, the communist youth. And the station feels more like a giant hall with marble columns rather than a metro station. At the end of the station you can find a huge bust of Lenin. It is enormous, but it is not the only thing this station is famous for. On its roof there are several mosaics that depict important parts of the Russian history, and you can see anything from knights to celebrating their victory during the Great Patriotic War. I am currently standing below a mosaic that depicts a woman. The woman has strong arms and she is apparently celebrating some kind of victory. You can see that the woman is standing on the swastika, so basically celebrating their victory over Nazi Germany.
I was super impressed by how often the metros ran, how affordable it was, and most importantly, how extremely clean all of the metro stations were, and that there's even Wi-Fi available in all of the metros, even in the old ones. Because I'm not really used to that in Europe, so yep, that definitely impressed me.
This is the station Kievskaya in Moscow, and this station has been dedicated to celebrate the friendship between the Ukraine and Russia. Historically speaking, this makes sense. Nowadays, obviously, it doesn't really make sense anymore. There's actually a monument in Kiev that is also celebrating the friendship between both countries, but nowadays it is broken. There are mosaics here in the station that are depicting various professions of workers, professors. There are even mosaics of kids here. Some mosaics depict the friendship of collective farms of Russia and the Ukraine. There's also mosaics depicting the victory salute in Moscow, as well as the liberation of Kiev in 1943. Behind me you can see a mosaic of Lenin. There used to be a mosaic of Stalin as well here, but this has been erased in the 50s or 60s, during the period where images of Stalin have been forbidden. And don't miss out on Plashat Revolutsky, or the Revolution Square. This is a very spacious and beautiful station that connects several metros with each other, and it is famous for its 76 bronze statues. These statues represent Russia's pre-revolutionary times until today, until the present. And there's one statue just there behind me with a dog, and you can see that it is a very popular superstition that people rub the dog's nose, which is apparently meant to bring good luck. Of course I did it as well, because you don't ever want to waste an opportunity to have luck, right? We are now in Novoslovodskaya. It is a train station that is famous for its stained glass panels. There are 32 of them in total here in the station, and they make you feel like you are in an art gallery rather than a metro station. They have restored the metro station a few years ago and renewed the light here a little bit to make the glass panels shine even more beautifully. The other thing that this station is famous for is this mosaic here behind me. It shows victory holding a child, which some interpret as a hidden depiction of the Madonna and the child from Soviet times. The Moscow metro system also played a crucial role during World War II. From July 1941, it served as an anti-air bombs shelter, as well as the transport system still for the people. The metro system could be transformed into an anti-air bomb shelter within 15 minutes once the alarm sounded. And people spent nights here. There were even libraries, there were food stands, and other things that people needed. They even played movies here sometimes. And there have even been trains that have been equipped with anti-aircraft guns for defense reasons. this whole system during that time really became basically like an underground city. There were even artillery parts that have been manufactured here in the tunnels of the metro system. I'm sure there are many more train stations to discover here in Moscow, a lot of them being extremely beautiful, having a beautiful history as well to tell. However, our time here is limited, so this was it for this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the metro system here in Moscow and in St. Petersburg as well. And if there is any place on earth where you have seen metro stations that were more beautiful than those here. I'm curious to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will hopefully see you in next week's video.